Hi everyone, how are you today? This is Srdan KO from the Let's Chat podcast. Today we have a pleasure to talk to Patrick Mercie. Patrick is a life coach and NLP practitioner and a coach here in Limerick. So it will be an absolute pleasure to do this today. Patrick, thank you.
You're welcome.
For doing this with me, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
So, as I do say to everyone else who comes on the show, it's basically few questions, straight out questions. There's nothing written down, there's nothing too pre-recorded or anything like that. What I would like to see and find out from you is who's Patrick, why you do the stuff you do, and basically what kind of stuff you could recommend to other people who are in life trying to maybe do certain changes, improve themselves, and start up maybe a business. Because the idea of the show is to show people that that if you want to do a positive change and improve yourself, you can do it. If you put your mind into it, you can do it. So let's start with who's Patrick Mercie?
Mercie, yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? I've been called all kinds of names. I moved to Ireland 25 years ago from Brussels in Belgium, where I'm from. I'm Flemish Belgian. Come from a little village called Tervuren, which is about 15 kilometres to the east of Brussels. When I say small village, I mean 25,000 people, which is a small, tiny village back home. And so I've been here 25 years in Limerick. But as I said, I come originally from Belgium,
Very good.
which is why the surname is Mercie.
Mercie.
Okay.
Mercie would be like a thank you or no?
Yeah, but with an E.
Okay.
Like the French thank you, but with an E at the end. Yeah,
That's very good. That's very
even
good.
though I'm Flemish Belgian.
So tell me, why Limerick? Why Ireland? What kind of decision made you to do that?
Yeah, so I like travelling, and it's one of the things I really enjoy doing. One of the things I do is I never spend 7 days, and I recommend that to everyone, in a row in the same place. So once every 4, 5, 6 days, even if it's just going to Dublin for the day for business or whatever it is, it's just like not getting stuck in a routine.
Okay.
I lived in Belgium obviously where I grew up. I lived in Amsterdam for a short period of time, and I lived in Offenbach, which is just outside Frankfurt.
Yes.
For a short period of time.
Personally, nice place. Yeah, beautiful place. Yeah.
And then I met Maura, who's Irish, and who I'm happily married to. This year will be 20 years.
Very good.
In Brussels, in a bar. A friend of mine was chatting to two women in a bar. I had just closed the bar around the corner, and there was only 2 guys sitting at the bar, so I kicked them out. And she was sitting, and there was a friend I knew, a guy from the village I knew, sitting with 2 women. He was speaking English to them. I always was into languages. I speak 4 myself.
Okay.
So I was always into languages. So I said, "Do you mind if I join you?" And it met that he had met this lady on a holiday in the Canaries. They were coming over to meet him. She didn't want to come alone. She brought her friend. I'm now married to the friend, and the other 2 have never met again. So
That's it.
That's it. Maura was working in Limerick at the time, so we moved to Limerick. I moved to Limerick over now.
So when you came to Ireland, what did you do? What kind of stuff did you do? And as every foreign person when they come in, you try. It depends on it. But a lot of people, you get into the first job that you find, you kind of stick with it for a while, and then until you don't, find a better solution for you, for your background and everything else. What did you do?
My first job, first of all, my first job actually took a few months because it's 2 recessions ago that I arrived. So I've been through 2 recessions in Ireland. And it was near the back end of a recession when I arrived here in '94. So there wasn't a lot of jobs around. So my first job was actually, and it's still there, it's a petrol station near the Quinlan's, is it? Collins and Quinlan, I think.
Yes.
It's the one near the regional hospital.
Yes.
Across from the highway, around there. It's a petrol station. They offered me a job. I was on the forecourt. So filling cars. Do you know at the time? Here in Ireland, people still got their cars filled by someone from the station. And that's what I was doing. And then one day, this guy stopped, and they were tourists on the way through. They were French speaking, so I started speaking French with them. And there was another guy filling his car up beside me, and he came over to me and he says, "Are you French?" And I went, "No, I'm from Belgium." And he said, like, oh, do you speak any languages? I said, yeah, I speak 3 or 4. So he said, I'll be back here later. So he came back later and handed me this form to join a FOSS course in computer science, which was on FOSS at the time, you know. What are they calling it? They call something else.
Intro now.
Yeah. So anyway, so he said, go on the FOSS course, because ASD Computer was around at the time in the old wine building in Plassey. And ASD were one of the top 5 computer manufacturers at the time in the world. And they were, this is where the corner bit comes in, they were actually setting up a new call centre in there. So I went on the FOSS course, left the job, went on the FOSS course, and halfway through the course they picked me out of it, because that way they probably got a grant.
Yes.
For getting an unemployed person or whatever.
Of course, yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was put in the Benelux call centre. They quickly discovered I also could speak French and German, and my English was fluent. So I was actually quickly into supervisory, into management roles, and I could take calls from the whole UK, Ireland, France, Switzerland, Germany,
most Europe,
Austria, Belgium, the Netherlands, Luxembourg. Like, so that was kind of handy. So like, yeah, I went into technical roles there as well. So I spent about 4 years with that company.
Very good.
They were bought out by Samsung, and they did reorganizations and restructures. But I kept my job. I was still there because of all the languages I spoke.
Yeah, it's a blessing. A lot of people don't understand, and I try to say that the more you know, the more languages you know, it's easy to go and communicate with people. It doesn't matter, you know what I mean, which part of the world they are, you know what I mean, at least one of the languages that you know could hit certain areas.
Yeah. So that's kind of the thing. So then I actually got headhunted by Cable and Wireless, which were a telecommunications company. They were setting up an assure and provide centre near Shannon. Near Shannon, I think it's Smithfield or something.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. So they were setting up a new building there. They took a building beside Elsevier, and there was 150 people to be put in there, and an assure and provide centre.
Nice one.
And we started up there. There was Jenny from Sweden, Dermot from London, and myself from Belgium, the first 3 in there. And we ended up with 150, 200 people in there. I was the European escalation manager for them, which was an interesting job. So Ryanair website went down, and I had to make sure it went back up, you know, that kind of stuff. So it was a big role. It was an escalation management role. I was travelling quite a bit for it as well.
And was there a lot of pressure involved?
It was 2 years it took me to get burnout only. So that was interesting. They went through, again, at the time there was a lot of these redundancies going on. So they went through redundancies. I applied for it, they refused it. I applied for it the second time, they refused it. And then I was offered a virtual role as a manager over a whole team in London, and I was offered this and that. I said, no, I'm done. And eventually they flew over, and the guy from Barbados flew over to convince me. So I went to play around the golf with him. We went to Dirty Nelly's, and over a point I convinced him to let me go, which is what he did. And I then worked, I'm not going to keep this too long, I then spent 4 years working in management for Extravision, if you remember that.
Yeah, the good old place to rent movies and everything else. Yeah.
Absolutely, so spent 4 years with that. And then one day in the job got blurred vision, chest pains, you know, that kind of thing. But I'm a bloke, so I walked to the GP. It was one of the last times I was ever in a GP. And it was a severe stress attack. Something had to change.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to make 50.
Something would give.
Yeah, I wasn't going to make 50. I was 40 at the time. Around 40, 41, 42. And so I wasn't going to make it, basically. I kept doing what I was doing. One of the guys, he was actually Bill Hollidan. I'll never forget his name. He was one of the training managers for Extravision nationwide. And he gave me a book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey's book.
Yes. And
I read in that, and it was the first time I heard of coaching. And what is coaching? Life coaching and business coaching, whatever it was. And I got intrigued. I said, what is that? Never heard of it. And then when I had that severe stress attack, I went back and I went looking up coaching, etc., maybe as a solution, whatever. And I came across the Irish Life Coach Institute. And they were running accredited diploma courses in life and business coaching. I went to the company at the time, asked them, could I do the course? They said, absolutely, you know, if you sign for so many more years, blah, blah, you apply, and like they'll pay for the course and whatever. I went to the course, it was in Limerick here. They had a Limerick course, so you had to actually interview to get onto it, so many people wanted to do it. So I got onto the course the first Saturday, and I came home that Saturday evening. It was a whole year. It was a 1 year course, like 8 or 9 months. You were still working, it was weekends. It was weekends courses. And first Saturday I came home and I said to Maura at the time, I said, that's it, I'm quitting the job. This is what I'm doing. And she went, really? And I went, yeah, no, it's not talking to me. This is, I found something that's really sits well with me, like it felt good. So that was in October. I stayed with the company till after the Christmas because I'm a nice guy. You don't leave retail in the rush up to Christmas. So
anyone who worked in retail knows that when it comes to Christmas time, forget about it.
Yeah, actually next week Christmas started in February, I think. They started planning in head office in February, March. So if, you know, in the next month or so, the next Christmas will be planned. What's going to be in, what's going to be hot, what's going to be not, you know, that kind of stuff. And so I stayed till after Christmas time, and that's now 13 years ago. I started set up on my own as a coach, and that's what I've been doing for the last 13 years. Up until 2.5 years ago, or 3 years ago, I met Srdan KO, who's an NLP trainer. I had been looking for an NLP trainer, and it took me 2.5 years to find someone I wanted to work with. And so I'm now a Master NLP Practitioner as well.
Tell me, when you were transitioning, you said, from a management point of view, and even just as a, we say, workforce, to setting up your own business and running your own business, how did you find out?
It happened kind of overnight.
Okay.
And in the beginning, do you know what it is? In the beginning is that you're full into it.
Yeah.
So you don't actually notice what's working, what's not working. You're so launched into, I have no idea, this is going to be great, this is going to be brilliant. You're doing everything and moving and you're talking to people, and it's all exciting. And then after like 2 or 3 months, you're going like, not a lot happening here.
Yeah.
And like everyone else, so like everyone else started off like, you know, it's like, this is going to be tough and whatever. Like. And then it gets hard for a while to stay above water and to go like, and I'm not talking financially, because I was lucky, really lucky, that more was in a steady job.
Yes.
Right? So I'm not advising people just to stop doing what you're doing, the two of you, and go on zero income, because that won't last long.
That won't, yeah, of course.
But it was mentally as well, it was a bit tough for a while. Just to go like, you know, to go and like, you have this brilliant idea and only a few people
can understand
and go like, oh, let's work together and whatever. So that was stopping up. And that's always stayed, that always stays with you. If you don't sell out, if you stay true to who you are, it's going to take a while. And there's always going to be lows and highs and whatever. So it's literally what keeps you going is because it's you.
Yes, yeah.
Because it's really you, you know.
No, but see, that's what I'm trying to say to people. It's like, for me, it was the same thing. You know, when you start something new and you're fresh into it, and then, you know, when you're working your whole life, you're working for somebody. Now you have to be actually working for yourself. It's not an easy one.
No.
Because you have to be your own worst enemy if you want to actually achieve and do certain things. But so running your life coaching service before the NLP was it different than what you do now with the NLP, or?
It's just a different technique. It's just a set of techniques that have been added on to the coaching technique. So it's just an amalgamation of techniques, if you want. So for me, the difference is the way I communicate to myself and then to others as well. And that's what changed. So it's the communication that has changed, where I communicate at a totally different level now. And that's not because I'm better at it. It's not because it's just you learn. You learn
your approach,
stuff, and your approach is different. So the thing that's changed dramatically since I got involved in NLP was the understanding that like nobody needs to get fixed.
We were just talking about this on the chat show that Patrick is running here on the Limerick City Community Radio, and that phrase of nobody has to be fixed, or no, I mean phrase is a phrase, but just saying it and nobody's wrong, is something that kind of stick with me now during the show, and I was trying to kind of think of it. It's really hard to explain that to people to say, okay, you're not wrong, or you don't need to be fixed.
Yes. So I say it the other way around, right? I said this to you now. Now listen out. I'm going to say it the same thing but differently. You're a whole human being. You're a complete human being. Yeah, that's different, right?
Yes.
It's the same thing.
It's exactly the same thing. But
people are so not used to hearing that. I say that to everyone I meet now. People say like, yeah, but I'm not going to do but like this and that. And I said, no, you're a complete human being. Usually people start crying, which is okay, because they've never heard it. They're always saying like, oh, do you know what I get? We're going to make the best version of you. And we're going to create a better version of you. And I understand that people do that with the best intentions, right?
Yes.
So please, I'm not attacking anyone here.
No, I agree.
So people do it with the best intentions. But if I say to someone, we're going to make the best version of you there is, or you can be the better version of yourself. When people say that to me, the first thing I think is like, so I first need to acknowledge I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to make me better, that means like, or if I have to make myself better, that I need to first acknowledge I'm not good enough right now.
Yeah.
And when I do that, I come from a space of lack. And when I come from a space of lack, my energy is going to be towards fulfilling that lack. So it's not my potential. It's not who I am inside. I am now trying to fill that lack, which is not even there.
Yeah.
There's just a perception that there's a lack, so I now need to fill that.
Yeah.
Which is why I say to myself, inside, I am whole and complete. And that's always good enough. And I'm good enough. And you're good enough. And you're good enough. And you're good enough. And everyone's good enough. Then you come from a space of abundance. And when you come from a space of abundance, everything's possible. And when everything's possible, what I mean by that is you can then start doing things you enjoy doing.
I agree.
So that's saying that a different way. See, that's a different way of communication.
But you see, it's not easy to grasp that, and that's the biggest challenge or an issue for people, especially now. If you don't mind, just to say and explain to people what is NLP, and then we can come back to this point. It's just for people to understand when was your transition as a life coach on its own, and then life coach with NLP background.
Well, NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. That's what it stands for.
Okay.
And it's a set of techniques that were taught out by two guys. It's an amalgamation of, it was Bandler and I think Grinder, but okay, I'm not sure about the second name now on the top of my head. But it's a combination of like psychology and other techniques, and it was put together. Basically, if I'm going to keep it in simple language, when I tie my shoes in the morning, when I tie my shoes in the morning, that's because I have a habit, and I know this. I don't need to think how to tie my shoes. I
just do it.
So more often we do that. This is in a neural pathway in our brain, is where we store that habit. Right? So what I can do using NLP techniques is rewire those neural pathways in the brain. Right? Okay. So I can make you forget how to tie your shoes.
Please don't now. You need to tie my shoes.
You know, so why am I? But the idea behind that is that to use it as with the good right intentions, as a kind of, it's kind of a therapy-ish.
Yeah.
Because that's the easiest word to use. It isn't, but you can use it as a therapy, so you can use it to help people help themselves.
And tell me, as a coach, you're using those to help people, but can the same thing be used to basically on a wrong way? Can that be used on a wrong way
to manipulate people? Yes. Yeah, so, and if I could, for what you just said, you do this to help people, I don't. Yeah. I do this so people help themselves. Yeah. But it's a slight difference.
Yes, it is.
Because they don't need to be helped, remember?
Yeah.
So I help them help themselves, get rid of all the layers that they built up in the problem themselves. Right? Fear, self-doubt, anxieties, worries, stresses. And they're all layers we put in front of ourselves. And that's where the person that's within, that whole person that's within, that has everything it needs, can't come out because of those layers. So all I do is help people help themselves to remove those layers. Okay. And once the layers are gone, you can go like, I can do whatever I want now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, so NLP is a set of techniques that when used at the right time and in the right way can help create new habits, new thought patterns, new beliefs, etc. in people, so that they trust, they can learn. For me, I use it so that people can learn to trust themselves, that they have everything they need within.
Okay. And we say every single thing has a good and bad side, and as I said, okay, you're using it to basically provide people with their own, and they can fix themselves. So you're there just as a person, as a support. We're gonna put it like that.
Yes, facilitator, yeah.
But if you facilitate, that's
Yeah.
exactly the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
But using it in the wrong way to manipulate people, is
Yes.
there any examples that people use the NLP to
Well,
that stuff?
just switch on your television,
Yeah.
look at the election that are going on,
Yeah.
and I can see people using these techniques, politicians. I
Yeah.
won't name individuals,
No, that's
but there is people in politics. It is used in marketing so that people buy certain things
Yes, it is. Yeah.
that they don't actually need. So it can be used in many ways.
Okay.
Right? Not just NLP on itself. There's just techniques, communication
Yes.
techniques that are used.
No, I didn't mean
Yeah.
as NLP as in whole. I mean
No,
just
yeah.
the techniques. If you use them on a wrong way or manipulative way, you can achieve certain things. Then, from that point of view,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
to basically gain people to do stuff for you.
Yes.
Or
Oh,
they
absolutely.
shouldn't be doing it.
You
Yeah.
can convince people of anything.
That's a normal thing.
Yeah.
Even,
Absolutely.
as you say, first thing you just watch the TV and everything is basically you have to, this,
Do you know-
that.
Yeah, do you know the thing I did with the space hero, the space of lack and the space of abundance? Yeah, but you just look at that space of lack, right? That's where fear sits. You need security locks on your doors, right? Because the robbers will come in and rob you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need a bigger army because the enemy is getting stronger, right? You need insurance, life insurance, just in case you die, as if I'm going to remember that I die.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, but it's for your family, Patrick. And I think, and then do you have enough cover? And are you sure you need double glazing window, because otherwise the heat will go out of your house. And there's this constant space of lack that's being promoted to us. Lack of this, lack of security, lack of stability, and that's where we come from. And so it's normal that people sit in that space. So what I do for the rest of my life now is help people to get rid of those layers. Get rid of those layers in front of you. And then people say like, whoa, what the heck, what's this? I didn't know about this, can I do that? No, So when I often say to people, it's about having a life while making a living. Do what makes you happy.
Yes.
And that will make you successful. And then people go like, yeah, Patrick, that's easy to say, right? I said, well, it wasn't me, it was meta-studies that were done by people at Harvard University. I said, like, do what makes you happy, and you will become successful. So if I give my own example of that, I started running about 10 years ago.
Only 10 years ago? I thought that you...
12.
Sorry,
12.
I know Patrick actually through running, that's how I actually met Patrick first, through sports and talk about running and everything else, and I didn't know it was only 10 years ago.
12. I just have to think.
Because I thought it was your whole life was...
No. I started, because I played soccer.
Okay.
I ran a bit of cross country when I was younger. But I started running, my first marathon was Dublin 2008. And I'm at 124 now, marathons and ultra marathons. And so that's kind of the one thing. When you do something you enjoy, you do stuff that other people go like, oh, hold on a minute. Like, if I got €5 for every time someone said that running isn't good for you, Patrick. It's not good for your knees, Patrick. It's not good for this, it's not good for that. And I go like, well, whatever,
Yeah.
So I just kept running. And when you stop actually chasing stuff, and you end up, one year ran 43 marathons in just 1 year. And that's because you want to do what makes you happy, and you do things that other people go like, come on.
Yeah.
That's not normal, right? He's a freak, like. And it really becomes easy. So and then you can replicate, and you can do that anywhere. You can do that in your business, you can do that in your relationships. So the more you do what's truly you, when the layers are gone.
Yes.
That stuff comes out. So if you go like, I love music,
then
do music. Yeah. If you say I love dancing, go dancing. If you say I love traveling, you go traveling. I know 2 people they're in China now, I think, and they travel for a living. and they get paid to travel. Do you know?
Yeah.
I get paid to talk. You know,
That's what you enjoy to do.
Yeah.
You see, the hardest point of that is to actually showcase people and not to basically persuade them, but you have to show them that, you know, if you're doing what you like and you're being successful at it, same thing is vice versa for other people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that means that actually works.
Mm-hmm.
Again, depends on how much you're prepared to give,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to achieve that, because a lot of people are afraid just because of this thing that we were saying early on,
Mm-hmm.
the life, the setups, the way they were told that it has to go, otherwise they won't be successful or they won't be happy or there'll be so many things bad for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they just get out from that line of what's set up and what's done. So how do you actually, and I mean your goal as a life coach and NLP coach, is it to rewrite that in their heads, or
I
let's say rewrite, don't it's just gonna put it back into perspective. Like.
So it is like, so people come to me, like, I'll give you an example. So someone came to me and said, like, I've had it, I want to change. And the first thing I'm going to go is to go like, because that's, the first thing is like how they want to achieve that.
Yeah.
Because I can go as a coach, or I can go as an NLP practitioner, or I can mix the two, or I can just listen to them, or whatever it is. So this person, I just gonna pick one person I remember said, like, oh, I have a habit I want to change. And I says, first of all, I stopped, and I said, you don't have to tell me what the habit is. And she looked at me like, you're looking at me, I'm going, what the heck is he talking about? This is like, whatever, is he a magician? Yeah. So I can work contextually if that is required. So I just get her to describe where the habit sits. Like, is it something you can feel? Is it something you like? And then people often, and everyone has a great imagination. So the person said, like, the habit was something that was dark and black, and I was sitting here in the stomach area. So then I just started working at, like, disassociation. So then you find something else they really enjoy, describe that to me in colours. You make one colour over the other colour, you switch it around, and then it takes about, it took 25 minutes of work, and then you anchor certain states and feelings when they're during the session. And that person sent me a video testimonial about 6 weeks later saying, like, I'm going to tell you now, I'm 6 weeks no smoking from that session. And I was purely because I was rewiring, we were helping her rewrite certain memories in her head.
Tell me one thing on this, and I know that a lot of people probably going to say the same thing. It's okay when the person is with you, but how to help the person then to achieve that and to continue doing that same thing afterwards. You know what I mean? What I mean is, like, if that lady came on to you and she came with the hope that she would be able to change that, and you helped her with it. But some people, they would take maybe few extra sessions.
Yes.
Does that happen too? Like,
yes.
Okay, because not everyone is the same. Not everyone is easy to change and switch. They take a bit more extra time to rewire that and, you know, to reset themselves to the correct pattern.
And then some, quite a good few people would use me to talk to themselves. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, yeah.
So I go for walks with a lot of my clients instead of just sitting down. We go for a walk and they talk to me. And it's basically themselves they're talking to, and they want to sort stuff out.
Yes.
So, and then they use me just as kind of like someone to chat to, like, you know. And then I ask, and then because of the coaching I did, etc., and because of the communication styles from NLP and all that, I kind of know what questions to ask at what moment, and then they go like, oh yeah, and then they answer for themselves, and then they go like, yeah, that's good. So that's kind of also something that a lot of people find very helpful.
Okay.
So basically, they can use me to talk to themselves, because they know there's no judgment, there's no, I don't really care what they're saying or like, yeah, absolutely.
And tell me, you know, this is I usually ask most of people that are here.
Right.
What kind of achievements did you? I know that you say that you're not competitive anymore as you've been before, but I'm not putting the competitive side. I'm just trying to say, like, every person likes to have certain achievements in the life you were chasing the NLP. So, what would be basically your highest or the best, personal best? We're gonna put it like that, or something that makes you happy that you're able to achieve. And, you know, the achievement, was it something that you were looking forward to achieve, or just basically happened by chance? Sometimes certain achievements come to your door, knock on your door, and with a bit of luck or just the situation that you were in. Or sometimes we work hard to achieve that, and we know that on the end of it there will be a satisfaction, certain amount of satisfaction behind it. So
actually, the biggest achievement is a non-achievement. I know that's going to sound weird, but it's a non-achievement. It's actually switching from having something to report to and having to go and get somewhere, to understanding that it's best. Everything's now.
We were just saying that.
I know it sounds weird, but it is literally that. That was the biggest deal for me personally, was to understand that yesterday. Okay, I'm just going to make this real and explain it really simple. What I think happened yesterday is not what happened yesterday. It's what I remember happened yesterday.
Yes.
So that's a selective memory of what I think happened yesterday. If I ask the other person that was with me what happened yesterday,
they will be completely different. Yeah.
So I can't learn from the past. I can't. Because which past? The one I remember, the one they remember, or the one that actually happened? Right? So I can't learn from that. So I don't need to deal with that anymore.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I don't even know.
It can be anything.
Yeah, no, I can be physically not here anymore.
Yes.
Right? So, okay. So those two, I don't need to worry about it anymore. Right? It was that literally realization of right now, we're doing this. Nothing else matters.
Exactly.
And that's all there is. And when this is finished, I don't even know right now what I'm going to do, but I'll figure it out now.
Yeah.
But it's all going towards the same direction. It's all me being real and being me. And as much as I can, help other people shed those layers so that we reconnect. Because to me, the biggest issue in the world right now is not the wars, it's not homelessness, it's a disconnection.
Yes.
We have disconnected from what life really is.
A lot of people are. Yeah, that's true.
We totally disconnected from what life really is. We all think we need to achieve stuff. And when we're so far living in the future of all the things we're going to achieve, we're forgetting what's here.
Yeah.
An interesting Australian comedian called Tim Minchin came out with an idea at a speech he was given at his old alma mater, and he said, be micro-ambitious. And I like it. Be micro-ambitious. Have short-term things.
Yes.
Right? Say okay, I'd love to do this. Now, there's no emotional attachment to that. It's just I'd love to.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a few things. I ran my first 12-hour race a couple of months ago. So it started at midnight till noon. 12 hours, little loop, and just continue moving for 12 hours and see how far you get. And there is a race, so whoever does the most kilometres in the 12 hours, I really enjoyed that. That was I was still at noon, 12 hours later, we ran through the night. There's a big hill in the room. And it was so much fun. I had such fun there. I said, I'd love to do more of those. So I might do 3 or 4 of those this year. But there's no attachment to that. But I might do that.
That's for different people, achievement means different ways. So that's for me is for me, achievement. One of the achievements that I was looking forward to was starting something like this.
Oh, okay.
And it fulfills me and makes me happy to actually sit down with people and talk.
Yeah.
Nothing else, as you say, nothing else matters right now. It's basically to us just sharing thoughts and ideas on life, on different things, on work, relationships, people around you, stuff like that. So, and I it's nice to see that, that's what I'm trying to, when I ask people, what is your achievement? It's in the way to set it up, and ask them to see what makes them happy. Is there any specific point in their life that made them happy? For me, achievement is the happiness, the continuous happiness. And it took me a long, long time to understand that. That, as you said, instead of chasing stuff and trying to do this and do that, and live it right now.
Yeah.
Because, as you said, tomorrow you might not be here.
No. And happiness is not a destination.
Yes.
It's a way of travel.
Yes, I like that. Yeah, I like that. You
said there was a guy called Francois, I think it's Jean-Claude Francois Thoreau, he was a French philosopher. And he said happiness will come sit quietly on your shoulder when you're not looking for it.
That's a nice way to say it, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
a really nice way to say it.
So it's that kind of, when I'm breathing sometimes, that makes me happy. When I'm breathing consciously, like I meditate quite a bit. Not that I need it, but I find it really joyful.
Yeah, that's
I find it really joyful. I find it peaceful. I don't need to meditate because then the whole purpose of it disappears.
Yes,
right?
true, yeah.
so that, but yeah, I told you, I said it in the radio show, there's like funny stories from like, I mean, I used to have an office, I don't anymore. But, and people would come in without knocking and I'd be lying on the floor, like, with my eyes closed, like, yeah, people are going, oh, you alright? Like, and I was like, yeah, I'm meditating, right? Because it's really easy, so that's joyful for me. So
we see a lot of people find that peace hard to achieve.
oh, yes, yeah, because it's scary, right?
Yes, it is, yeah, because that means it's you versus you, or you with you only.
It's just you being with yourself.
Basically,
And we're not used to that. So that's the disconnect I was talking about.
Yeah.
We've disconnected from life. And do you know what? It's nobody's fault, by the way. Okay? There's nobody to blame for this. Okay, so you're not doing it wrong when I'm saying we disconnect
Yeah.
from life. Nobody's doing anything wrong. That's just the way we live right now. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying like I found a different way. And I find it very peaceful. And I find that I can live from within and be myself and still achieve stuff.
Yeah.
Actually probably achieve more
right now, yeah.
than people who set targets for themselves. Because it's real and it comes from within.
Yeah.
So and that's kind of where it is. Like if you had asked me 5 years ago to run a 12-hour race, I would have probably gone, and I was running a lot more than that. I would have probably gone, oh my god, 12 hours, that's a long time, you know. And then I did it for the first time, I just entered it. And I just started at midnight. And it was like 12 hours later, I was still moving around a loop. And it was great fun. I literally enjoyed it. It was like pure bliss.
That's what I mean, you know,
Yeah.
certain small things like that should make you happy, because if you're chasing bigger things all the time and you're not achieving them in required time or at all, then you get disappointed with it. You're like, you feel disappointed with yourself, but you shouldn't. You know, every single day is a gift that we should enjoy it as much as we can. And I truly believe that. So tell me, when you're working with people, you work in Limerick and you work based in Nationwide.
I can do that anywhere, yeah.
What would be, you say, the best way for people to kind of reach out to you? And if they have any issues and problems, what kind of issues and problems are there for them, or that you can say, look, I can help you with?
If you, or I'm going to ask a question, if you literally feel that there's things that you would love to do but you don't know how, you do know how.
Yeah.
If you think the situations you're in that you can't get out of, you can get out of them. If there's things that you think are things that are like so big that you can't deal with them and you need to stay where you are, so that because Patrick, I have a mortgage, so I can't switch jobs, Patrick, right? And then I can help you help yourself with that.
Okay.
If it is if you're under stress, if you have anxieties, if you have worries that are bringing you down every day, I can help yourself with that. So whatever it is that you think there's something here that's in front of me that's stopping me from being me, then I can help you to help yourself to remove that away from you. So that's kind of done. I can do that in one-to-one. I love going for walks with people, as I said earlier. I can do it in one-to-one anywhere. I can also do it in group. That's the beauty of NLP. It allows you to work with groups of people as well. So I can go into offices. I can go into organisations and work around stuff like resilience.
Yes.
Well, that's what the name I give it because companies love that name. So and then I can do my magic. And so that's a good way as well. So I recently was in. I've done work in diverse places, like in hospitals with nurses and surgeons. I've been into factories where I deal with both the admin, where I work with both the admin staff and the fitters, and all that all together. So there's kind of different kind of ways we can do that.
And tell me, if you work with groups, and I know that a lot of groups have one very common thing that makes them having issues, and I think that's miscommunication between the people. How do you deal with miscommunication that happens? And sometimes it happens just because somebody didn't notice something or didn't hear something correctly. And this is where I've been dealing with a lot of that recently on my own thing, dealing with few people, because I learn and I try to learn more about how to listen better, or also how to express myself in a better way so people can understand me easier or better. Because sometimes we rush with certain things, or we say it, and then we think or assume, which is the worst part of it, that person did understand us. And sometimes they are afraid to ask you, what did you actually mean by that? And then the miscommunication starts to grow. And then instead of being really simple and easy to resolve it, it becomes something that is a big issue or something hard to deal with. So how do you approach that dealing with groups?
So first of all, we have to understand what communication is, right? So when I communicate with someone, the first thing I'm trying to figure out is not what am I going to say. The first thing I'm figuring out is like, where is that person right now?
Okay.
Right. Does that person look happy, tired, angry? Because if I don't understand that, then I cannot communicate to them. So you teach people that communication is more about than just what we say.
Yes, it is, and I agree with that 100%.
When I say something, everyone that looks at this or listens to this podcast is going to have a different interpretation of what I say. Every single person.
Yes.
Right? None of them are right, and none of them are wrong. In fact, they're all right. You know, because that's how they listen to it. So when I communicate, I don't communicate for me. I communicate to them. If I listen to someone, I don't listen to give them an answer. I listen to understand them. Where they're coming from. So, and that's, you can do exercises around that. You know, I think that you can make them funny from time to time. But like, you know, it's about the understanding that like when we listen, we tend to listen from our own world.
And to answer as fast as we can without actually listening the whole thing. This is what happened to me. We say, you know, like I worked in the security industry for a long time, dealing with people, especially now dealing with people who are coming to you and they can be very angry or intoxicated, etc., etc. And then what I found, and it took me years to understand and learn that, of course, is what we were saying, if somebody calls you the name and this and that, and they're so angry because you start to enter certain premises, or you know, or you have to deal with them. And the more calm I was, before I wasn't, of course, before I would tell them, you were this and you were that. But then you learn that that's not the way. The more calm I was, the more it was a shock actually for them, because they were expecting this, and they weren't getting it. And then suddenly the situation just resolved itself without screaming, without shouting, without any altercations or anything like that. And as you said early on, you know, you're a prick, you're this, you're bald this, you're bald that, you're this. And I'm like, yeah, sure. If you think that's me, that's fine, that's no problem.
So that's what you're doing, is you're communicating and understanding rather than a confrontation or whatever. So if someone says something to me, it's not about me trying to figure out what do they mean, where do they come from, why do they get it, and it's just going like, okay, in that person's reality right now, that's how they see that.
Yes.
And if I say it isn't, then I am actually attacking their own reality. If I attack their reality, and they either become defensive, or they go on attack.
Yes.
Right? Either or. Whereas if I go, so if someone, I have a great example. Someone one day came up to me, they were having a conversation near me, and they were trying to involve me. And they said, Patrick, did you hear that? Like, you know, the applicants, they all get free buggies. That's why they leave them at the bus stops. All they do is they go to social welfare, they get another free buggy. Right? And instead of going like, what the? Wait, I just went like, Jesus Christ, that's disgraceful. And they went, yeah, isn't it disgraceful? I said, yeah, absolutely. I said, if that's true, that's absolutely disgraceful. And then I picked up the phone, I said, you know what, I know someone who works in social welfare. I'll give them a call and we'll sort it out. Because I need to tell them this is not on. So I went like, and I rang my friend and I went on the phone. Took about 2 or 3 minutes, and she explained, explained that this isn't true, that like this is a rumour, this is not happening, and like this is what happens, and this and that. She laid down all the rules, and then that the rules are the same for everyone. And so I said, like, listen, thanks, because I was really, really upset there for a minute, you know. And then we put the phone down, and I turned around to the guys, and the guys were going like, oh yeah, but no, it was my auntie, you know, told me.
You know, of course, Yeah.
So you can communication.
He says, she says, that's the worst part of everything.
The only reason I tell you the story is because communication is how you communicate with people. So what's the outcome I want? I want to understand where that person's coming from.
Yeah.
I don't want to say they were wrong. I just want to accept and acknowledge
their reality, yes.
Their reality. And then I go, okay, and then I can deal with it that way.
Yeah.
So I deal with their reality, not mine. If I come from my reality, we clash. Right?
That would for sure be the...
And even if I agree, we clash.
Yes, yeah.
Because then we're both going to go like, oh, this is disgraceful. Hey.
Yeah.
Or is it just good? Acknowledge. And it's not always easy, by the way.
No, it's not.
To do this?
Sometimes I'm not saying that you know that they're wrong or you're right, as you're coming from your way of saying certain things. But it's like sometimes your perception of that reality, as you say, is like, no, I think you're actually wrong. But if you start arguing, it doesn't go well. But it's not always easy to take it on board. And swallow it and then work with it.
No, because it happens to me as well. Like, I still feel from time to time go like, you must be joking me, like, do you know, which is normal, like, and then you can get into an argument, and then you go like, actually, why am I doing this? Do you know?
I don't get nothing from it.
Yeah.
So that's
and then you change the way to communicate, and then you can always bring it back. But like, so communication, for instance, in organisations and companies, etc., is getting people to understand, and you can do it with simple things. I often to use books or pieces of paper and go like, this is your map of the world, this is my map of the world, so this is my beliefs, what I believe, what I think is right and wrong, what I like, my values and everything, these are yours, and they overlap that much, right? So to understand that, like, if you believe that your belief is here and I'm there, you're far away from each other. The mindset of a lot of people I know who work within that is the understanding that every human being has everything they need within them.
Okay.
And that it's just our job, if you wish, to help people to get that out of themselves.
Okay.
And we do that by removing the layers I mentioned before.
And tell me, if you didn't, we say, got into NLP as just as a life coach, would you be able to achieve the certain things?
Yes.
That's good.
But yes, absolutely. And the one thing I find is that it sometimes takes longer.
Okay.
And that, like, using certain techniques that I've learned from NLP might speed up the process for people.
So basically, NLP was just as I would say, a proper add-on onto your base that you had
to
help you, as a coach, to help you achieve certain things with the client or person to help them better and faster than.
It sometimes works faster, regularly, quite regularly, because it's literally the understanding of like it's based on neuroscience. So it's like literally rewiring the inside of your brain, like through whatever techniques. So sometimes you do that just by talking. I can go into conversations with people. I know when to do certain accents so that they'll remember certain things, etc. I do it all the time. It's like it becomes a habit after a while. You know, I know that like 3 or 4 times during, if you watch Black, for example, we did this, right? That's because I want you to remember that particular thing. Okay. So there is certain ways that you can, certain intonations or higher with the voice or actually you can change your communication by where you stand on a stage and that kind of stuff. Like, so it does speed up stuff.
No, but I've seen I've looked and followed a lot of people who are, we say, within the life coaching and business side of it and everything else, and a lot of them do or practice or they learned NLP to help them understand their own surrounding first, to help them understand themselves better, and to be able to represent or everything else that they're working and dealing with, to represent to others on a better way. And they do find it very beneficial, which is a great thing. And if you think of it, NLP is promoting stuff that we, probably most of the people who, thousands of years ago knew the same thing. You know what I mean? When you endure something, calm down, breathe, understand the situation, understand the person,
But you can't say that to someone else. That's a part of a communication. As soon as I'm telling someone calm down, they're only going to get angry.
No, why are you telling me to calm down? That's another thing.
Yeah.
But tell me, just towards the end of it now. Setting up, as I said, your own business and running it and everything else, would you actually recommend to people to try it, because a lot of people that I ask, each person gives a different answer to it, with different background, depends on the business they're in or the industry they're in. In your own opinion and your own thought as a life coach, if anyone would be going towards their life coaching, what kind of background that they should have, or they probably could help them with, to help others?
If they want to become
yes.
a life coach.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that really matters is the intention. What's the intention you have to do this? I told you again before, you can use it for
good stuff and bad stuff. Yeah.
So what's the intention you want to do it for? I think absolutely. As I said, we live in a world that is largely disconnected. So the more I mentor, I would mentor startup life coaches myself. Mentor my own competition, because we need more, and we know more people. We don't need more successful people. I can't remember, someone famous once said that. So we don't need more successful people. We need more healers. We need more lovers. We need more people who are interested in reconnecting ourselves with the world and with our lives. So I would say yes, go for it. And what background you need to have? I think your intention is more important. If it's your intention to fix people, then that's probably the wrong profession for you. If your intention to help people help themselves, then you're in the right direction.
Okay. No, because I watched an interview recently about this gentleman. I won't be calling the names out now, but he was saying, how can you be a life coach or a business coach or whatever if you're only like 20 years of age or 25 years of age, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes, to be honest, I met a lot of young people who are a lot more brighter and smarter than a lot more mature people that I would meet. So, and it depends, in my opinion, it just depends on your experience that you had in your life, in different levels and times of it, that you can, that you're able to help others help themselves. So,
sure. Remember when I said in the beginning, you're whole.
Yes.
You're a complete human being.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter how old you are. If you have that inside you, anyway. So it doesn't matter if you know how to connect with that space. You're old enough. Whether you're 12 or 50 or 74.
But to be honest, sometimes I teach kids. Sometimes I learn from them certain things from time to time, because they come on. They're so how would say they're not bad, or they're not so disconnected from themselves as we are as a mature or older people. And they say to you certain things, and you kind of look at them like, what did you mean by that? And then they try to explain you, as you said, their perception, their reality of that specific moment, and you're like, he or she's right. Even though they might be 6 years of age, but they're right because they're living it right now. That's what we forget or lose with time on. So you would basically recommend people to try it?
Yeah, absolutely. I do exams now. Life coaching students. The Irish Life Coach Institute is ILI, are an amazing institute. Even if you don't become a life coach, the course itself will change your own life. Okay. Because it does that. There's a lot of people that go to that course and just use it for themselves and stay with that. Right? Okay. So yes, as I said, this Black Belt Mastermind, who I have to introduce you to one day, that's Danielle Serpico in Dublin. She's my NLP trainer. I would recommend you do that as well. A lot of people just do it as a self-development course. Yeah. And it changes the way they communicate, it changes the way they live, it changes the way they look at things. So those two are courses that I can recommend. Okay. Because for everyone. Okay. Just to reconnect with yourself. And then see if it's for you, and see if you want to continue on with it as a business. Yeah. Because it is a viable way to make a living. Yeah, absolutely. No. And you get into other stuff. Yeah, I got into the radio because of this. Yeah. I'm speaking at a massive event at a big conference this Saturday because of that. So public speaking becomes an event.
I know that we won't air this right now, but is there any other event that is coming shortly or soon that we could promote or mention?
Not on the top of my head now, I need to think about it. But there is, if you go to places like, do you know Meetup?
Yes. Yeah,
you can follow a few people there. So you can. That's what I do. I go to places like Meetup and check what's on in Dublin, whatever, like.
Okay.
And there is always stuff happening, right? So myself here in Limerick, myself and Neil Smith organise events every month.
Okay.
We have one coming up, as you know,
Yes.
and that's on the 13th of February.
Okay.
So, and they're on every month. So if people follow me, Patrick Mercie, Mercie, I always share the events that are on in Limerick, in Dublin, etc.
The best way to reach you, Pat, would be through what?
Social media.
Okay.
I'm on Facebook as myself, and also I have a page as a life coach and NLP page.
Okay.
So it's Patrick Mercie, Mercie.
Okay.
And you can also follow me on Twitter, on @Patrick Mercie. You can find me there, or on Instagram. That's for the young kids.
I'll share all the Patrick's social media accounts when we add on the video. So please, I'll add on all. You can more than happy to go to check Patrick and see what he can do for you. Maybe not maybe. For sure, he can help it.
Yeah.
I know that myself because I changed my perception and thoughts on certain things after just speaking with Patrick and meeting him for a cup of coffee and just talking about normal stuff, and I really do enjoy our conversations. Truly enjoy it. So I will be sharing all the information about Patrick. Again, I'll try to add on as much information from the URLs, the social media accounts, and everything else, and anything else that Patrick will be providing me with. But if you are looking for somebody to help you with, and if you are looking for an NLP coach, please do give Patrick a shout. And just ask questions. If you don't ask questions, him or myself or anyone else can't help you. You know what I mean? You have to ask a question first to get an answer. If you don't ask questions, the answer is always going to be no. So don't do that.
It's usually yes.
It's usually yes, that's true too. So please do. If you have any questions about the interview or about Patrick, please throw me a message or comment, and I'll answer it ASAP. And let us know if you want anything else that for me to cover. Okay, Patrick, it was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
I wish you all a good day. Srdan KO. Let's Chat podcast.
See ya. Bye.